Behold, the Black Ops 4 Platinum Trophy. After over 1,000 games of Blackout and more than 100 hours in Zombies, I can firmly, without a shadow of a doubt, say that this game is terrible. I have played a lot of Call of Duties over the years, and I think this is probably the worst I've ever played. So let's start with Blackout, Call of Duty's take on the Battle Royale genre. You know, Fortnite, PUBG, Apex Legends, all those games I don't like, because frankly, I don't like the Battle Royale genre. And in this particular instance, you're greeted with graphics worse than Black Ops 3, which came out in 2015, terrible camping strategies that everyone uses, pure RNG-based gameplay, and worst of all, it's just straight up boring. Why would you want to start a game, mess around doing absolutely nothing for probably the first 6 minutes or so, maybe get into a gunfight, maybe escape, maybe kill them, that's exciting, and then do nothing for another 2 minutes, and then die? I can guarantee that 99 out of 100 players in Blackout end their games in frustration. Imagine spending, 10, 15, 20 minutes trying to get first, and all of a sudden, nope, it's gone like that. Start from the beginning. Chances of winning are astronomically low unless you're actually really good at the game, and even then, you're limited by skill caps of other players, cheesy strategies, and like I said, RNG of if you get a good gun or not. You could be one of the best players in the world, but if you get nothing but crappy little pistols and shotguns, you're not going anywhere. Now, another problem I have with Blackout is that it took away from what Black Ops 4 could have been. Back in the development cycle of Black Ops 4, this is about 3 years, they did have a campaign going on. Activision noticed the financial success of Fortnite and said, scrap that, you're doing this. And they filled it in, from what I've heard, about 8 months. It was a real quick, shoddily done effort, and it shows. Like I mentioned, the graphics are somehow worse than Black Ops 3, and it hinders the rest of the game. If you go into multiplayer, you'll notice there's a forced healing mechanic rather than traditional Call of Duty mechanics of healing automatically. Now, this isn't a huge hindrance in the game. Imagine having an intense gunfight, other player runs around, heals himself entirely in 1 second, and then just gets you in one shot or something like that. That's the whole game. And then you spawn in a crappy location that there's a likely chance some enemy is going to be nearby just waiting to shoot you because the spawns in this game are terrible. The maps in this game are terrible as well. They keep going with Treyarch's, frankly, very dated 3-lane designs in which there's a square map. You have the middle lane, the left lane, the right lane, and a couple segues in between. That's it. That's every single map. There's also the shields. You can equip shields in multiplayer, allowing for you to take more damage. This takes up one of your equipment slots, but frankly nobody uses the equipments because they're used for things like grenades or healing just a bit more. Why would you do that when you can take extra shots? Well, when everybody uses it, it's almost a mandatory slot you have to take, and if you don't have the shield, you're screwed because someone else has 50 more health than you do. It's like the Juggernaut perk in World at War. It's a massive hindrance to the gameplay. Now let's move on to zombies. Treyarch is known for its zombie mode. It's the reason I got into Call of Duty in the first place, and one of the reasons I bought several games. It sucks. They've taken everything Zombies is known for and just flipped it on its head. They've ruined the training mechanics where you run the zombies around in a circle and they'll chase you. They've changed that up, so now the zombies don't group quite the same, and it's a small difference, but it changes a lot in how the game feels. They also got rid of the perk system. So normally there would be a whole bunch of different upgrades you could get, 6, 7 or so on the map. You could only hold 4, but you could still choose in your game. In Black Ops 4, there are 4 generic perk slots in which you select what you want before the match. Now, this doesn't sound that bad. However, it really discourages experimentation. If you're playing on a Black Ops 1 map, you get 4 perks, you down, you go, oh, that's not good. Here, I'll try these 4. That's a good way to play. In this, you get these 4, you're stuck with it till the end of the game. Better hope you made the right decision. And also, the zombie maps are pretty terrible, with the exception of a few. So you start off with Blood of the Dead, a remake of Black Ops 2's Mob of the Dead, except because it has a different engine, it doesn't feel the same, and frankly, it's just not that good. Somehow, they have taken one of my favorite maps and made it semi-unenjoyable. It's not a terrible map, but it's not a good one. There's Voyage of Despair, which takes place on the Titanic, and is incredibly... There's Voyage of Despair, which takes place on the Titanic, which basically means nothing but tight corridors, which is terrible for zombies gameplay. You'll die so fast in it, you won't have the chance to open the million doors in the map. You'll get nowhere. It's not fun. Plus, you get to round 15, you're probably still kind of weak. It throws a boss zombie at you. You scrape by, 4 rounds later, it throws a boss zombie at you. Rinse and repeat for the rest of the game. Now, in previous games, there was Pack-a-Punching. You could upgrade your gun for 5,000 points. It was good. In this game, to upgrade your gun to the same level that a Black Ops 3 Pack-a-Punch would go, you'd have to spend 3 times the amount of points, which is really not helped by the fact that they nerfed the point system, so you don't get as much points per zombie kill. On the bright side, there is 9. 9, I think, is the one map that was actually designed around the new perk system, the new zombie system, the new everything. It's a fun map to play, and pretty much the only one I put all 100 plus hours on. I'm not going to get too much into the DLC, but just know that with the exception of one terrible map and one okay map, the other 3, are also remakes of 5, Nuketown Zombies, and Call of the Dead. So the game is bad on all 3 fronts. If I were to give each individual thing a ranking, it would go like this. I would give Blackout a 3 out of 10. It's completely RNG based, everyone uses crappy strategies, and it's just pretty boring in my opinion. However, it works. It's not super glitchy. You can have fun if you're really good, really into Battle Royale modes, but it's unlikely. I just really didn't enjoy my time with Blackout at all. Multiplayer, I've never been a multiplayer guy, but I can acknowledge that this wasn't the best route for Treyarch to go. It wasn't awful, but it wasn't anything good. I'm just going to give it a solid 5 down the middle. Zombies, I really wanted to like Zombies this year, but I didn't. I somehow trudged through. I did everything possible to try to squeeze fun out of this, but no. I would much rather go back and play Black Ops 3, 2, 1, even go back and play a 10-year-old game, World at War, and have more fun than that. Which is why I give the Zombies element a 4 out of 10. Again, it works. 9 is fun. That's the only positives I have. If we average all that together, we get a 4 out of 10, but that's too high. I can't give Black Ops 4 a 4 out of 10 because I didn't enjoy it that much. It was just a terrible Call of Duty game. I haven't played them all, but of the ones I've played, which, here's the list, this is the worst one. I've heard from people that Call of Duty 3 is worse. I can't attest to that. So I'm going to give it a 3 out of 10. I really hope that the next Treyarch game can improve. I hope whatever they come out with is miles better than this. But if it's not, I think Call of Duty may be done for.